One of the highlights of Acts chapter 22 is when we see how Paul chooses to address a mob in Jerusalem, a mob that is formed because they wrongly see Paul as a threat to Judaism, not realizing that he's actually proclaiming the fulfillment of Judaism through Jesus Christ. Here's what we see in Acts chapter 22, verses 1 and 2. "Brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now." And when they heard that he spoke to them in the Hebrew language, they kept all the more silent. In Paul's approach to addressing this mob, we see two of his many great qualities. One, we see his courage. To be facing a screaming mob and choosing to address them takes courage. Paul is reaching out to his fellow Jews, including the Jewish leaders of Paul's day. He boldly proclaims, "Brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now." Paul is always ready to share his faith and to do it boldly and courageously. Quality number 2, his wisdom. Paul chooses to address the crowd in the Hebrew language, the language of the Jewish scriptures, and seen as the holy tongue. Those in the crowd immediately quiet down. Paul is wisely doing what he can to connect with his hearers. So we see two great qualities of Paul, his courage and his wisdom. In reflection, in regard to courage, are you and I willing to face intimidating people and share our faith with them freely? Are we relying upon the Lord for boldness so that we can do the things God wants us to do? In regard to wisdom, are you and I in need of wisdom so that we can discern how best to approach a sensitive situation? In James chapter 1, God promises to give wisdom to all who ask for wisdom in faith. So, are we asking God in faith for the wisdom we need? May we, like Paul, walk in courage and walk in wisdom. Thanks for listening.